Welcome to Shepherdstown, West Virginia, one of the oldest and most charming towns in the Mountain State. Today's Small Town America Drive begins along Maryland Route 34 as we enter the scenic Chesapeake and Ohio Canal National Historical Park and cross the historic Potomac River into Jefferson County. Once across the river, Maryland 34 becomes West Virginia 480 and Duke Street, leading us into Shepherdstown's historic streets lined with 18th and 19th century architecture. We wind through quiet residential neighborhoods before exploring the beautiful campus of Shepherd University, founded in 1871, where tree-lined drives, academic halls, and hillside views overlook the Potomac River Valley. From Shepherd's modern West Campus to its historic East Campus, this drive showcases one of America's classic small college towns. Once downtown, we travel along both King and German streets, the heart of Shepherdstown, filled with local shops, historic buildings, and vibrant small-town character. Our journey continues east on West Virginia 45 toward Martinsburg, offering one last look at a community where history, education, and Appalachian charm come together. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this small-town America drive through historic Shepherdstown, West Virginia on Dash Cam Travels. As we enter the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal National Historical Park, this quiet stretch of towpath places us alongside more than a century of American transportation history. To our right sits historic Ferry Hill Plantation, once home to a Potomac River ferry crossing that connected Maryland travelers to Shepherdstown long before modern bridges existed. Nearby, Lock 38 stands as one of the canal's preserved lift locks, where mule-drawn canal boats were carefully raised and lowered along the river. Thanks for riding shotgun with me on today's drive. If you enjoy the ride, it would really help out the channel if you would subscribe, like, share, or leave a comment. If you want to be notified of new drives when they're released, you can also click the bell to be notified of new content. But most importantly, enjoy the ride. As we enter Shepherd University's modern West Campus, we're driving through the newer academic heart of this historic Appalachian institution. Founded in 1871 as Shepherd College, the school began as a small teacher training academy created to expand public education in post-Civil War West Virginia. Today, it has grown into a respected liberal arts university, serving students from across the Mid-Atlantic region. Along University Drive and Campus Hill Drive, you'll notice contemporary academic buildings, residence halls, and athletic facilities surrounded by rolling hills overlooking the Potomac River Valley. This side of campus reflects Shepherd's continued growth, blending modern education with the quiet scenery that has defined Shepherdstown for more than 150 years. Now we transition onto Shepherd's historic East Campus, where the university's origins truly come to life. Here, along King Street and High Street, many of the buildings date back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, constructed when the school was still known as Shepherd College. Brick academic halls, tree-lined walkways, and preserved architecture create one of the most picturesque college settings in West Virginia. This campus sits just steps from downtown Shepherdstown, reflecting the close connection between the university and the town itself. For generations of students, these grounds have served not only as classrooms, but as a living link between education, history, and one of America's oldest small towns. We're now driving through downtown Shepherdstown, and this historic structure in front of us is the Old Market House, one of the oldest public buildings in West Virginia. Built in 1800, the Market House originally served as the town's center of commerce, where local farmers and merchants gathered to sell goods and trade supplies. Over the years, it has also functioned as a courthouse, meeting hall, and community gathering place. Today, it stands as a symbol of Shepherdstown's long tradition of small-town life, civic pride, and preservation, anchoring the historic heart of one of West Virginia's oldest communities. Coming up is the historic Old Shepherdstown Fire Hall, a longtime symbol of community service in Shepherdstown. Established in the late 19th century, the Shepherdstown Volunteer Fire Department is one of the oldest volunteer fire companies in West Virginia. For generations, local firefighters responded to emergencies from this very location, protecting the town's closely spaced historic buildings from devastating fires. Today, the old fire hall stands as a reminder of Shepherdstown's strong volunteer spirit and the civic pride that has helped preserve this historic river town for more than 2 centuries. To our left at the corner is historic Rumsey Hall, originally built in the 1790s. Built first as a home and then converted into a tavern and hotel, this building served as a hospital during the Battle of Antietam during the Civil War, and later as a dormitory for what was then Shepherd College. It was later sold by the college to the town of Shepherdstown and spared from demolition. Coming into view is the historic Reformed Church and its adjoining cemetery, one of Shepherdstown's most important colonial-era sites. Founded in the 18th century by German settlers, the church reflects the deep European roots of this Potomac River community. The surrounding cemetery contains graves dating back more than 2 centuries, including Revolutionary War-era residents and early town leaders who helped shape Shepherdstown's development. Together, the church and cemetery offer a quiet reminder of the town's long history and the generations who have called Shepherdstown home since America's earliest days. We're now once again driving through downtown Shepherdstown, the heart of the Shepherdstown Historic District. Widely recognized as the oldest town in West Virginia, established in 1762, 101 years before West Virginia was admitted to the Union. German Street serves as the town's main corridor, lined with beautifully preserved 18th and 19th century buildings that today house locally owned shops, cafes, galleries, and historic inns. Many of these structures have stood here since the early days of the Republic, giving Shepherdstown one of the most authentic small-town streetscapes in Appalachia. This walkable downtown blends colonial history with a vibrant college town atmosphere, shaped by nearby Shepherd University and generations of river commerce along the Potomac. It's a place where history isn't confined to museums. It's part of everyday life along these historic streets.